Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is Ali Rez with my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing well, and I want to hear good news from everyone that everyone is happy and they are fine. Uh, Upon the insistence of many friends, especially, and people who watch my channel regularly, subscribers, I have decided to do today's video in English because they've been saying that please do a video in English language also, so people who live abroad and have difficulty understanding Urdu, they can also hear you out, sort of. And moreover, the topic I have chosen for today's discussion will also make a lot of relevance and sense if I use English as medium of the language. So, coming straight to my topic, as you know, that I do not believe in making long videos which tend to get boring at the end of the day. The topic that I've chosen today is something that exists around us in abundance, most unfortunately, and that is the element of people overthinking. So, overthinking is the topic actually, and as a teacher, I teach children in growing ages from 15 to 2021, and I have seen significantly amongst them that they tend to be victims of this ailment. I'll call it an ailment because it's nothing more than that. But actually, it is the starting point of an ailment. Actually, now, overthinking does not necessarily always has to have a reason. This is the most dangerous part of the entire affair because people tend to, think what will happen now, even if there is nothing. What will happen to us tomorrow? How will we do in our coming exams? And so on and so forth. They are always overthinking, students. And the parents at the same time, and most unfortunately, instead of, soothing them, instead of comforting them, they are in their own, element of being hyperactive and being overactive or overthinking, and exerting pressure on children in return, unfortunately. So, what does overthinking do? Why do I tend to denounce it so firmly? It brings out three, four different branches which are not good for anybody's health as far as I'm concerned. The first thing that overthinking brings is the aspect of anxiety. You know, it always keeps you in a state of anxiousness. As I said earlier, what will happen next? How will I do in my exams? What would the teacher be thinking about me? I got these grades in the last exams, and so on and so forth. And the elders, what will happen to my job? Will I be able to maintain the status that I am enjoying today? Would my children be going to the same school which I am able to afford today? So on and so forth. These kind of things. Now, this keeps the person in a permanent state of stress, in a permanent state of anxiety, which, like everything, has an upper limit. When it overflows the element of anxiety, then it enters into a new stage which is called depression. Now, depression instantly subdivides itself into two aspects or into two branches. Number one, the person tends to withdraw into his or her shell and decides to cut off with the world for the time being, and wants to go to sleep endlessly because he hasn't slept, she hasn't slept in many hours because of being in a state of anxiety. And the second aspect is more dangerous, which brings about suicidal thoughts, and people at times unfortunately end up doing a suicide. Those who survive, those who withdraw into the shell of depression, then the third stage that they overflow is insomnia. That is staying awake at night, mostly, uselessly, aimlessly, you know, visiting different websites on the phone, looking at people's already read messages, thinking about friends. I sent her a message, she did not respond. Has she found somebody else? These kind of things. And let me check right now what he's doing. I'll send him a message and see. And if a person doesn't read that message, their blood starts boiling, and then that same anxiety and same depression overwhelms them. And the fourth and the most dangerous stage that these entire three aspects draw you or push you towards is a state of paralysis. Now, it is not the paralysis that you and I know, the, the real paralysis. It is a very different but even more dangerous level of paralysis. And that is when your body is tired of staying awake, of being exerted too much of pressure to deal with, and your mind is still active. The body wants to lie down and the body wants to take some rest, but the mind, because by virtue of being in a state of overactiveness, still wants to continue. So the signs of this is people hardly fall asleep, right, like 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 a.m., and then they are wide awake again at 4 o'clock, because the mind is still in the process of overthinking. But the body this time cannot synchronize with it anymore because it is so tired and it wants its own fair share of rest. Now then, having achieved unfortunately all the four stages, then one is left with no other option but to go on heavy medication. And most of such medicines, as you know, are tranquilizers, and they just put your mind to rest or to oversleep, which is not a solution to the problem. It's like you having dandruff in your hair and you decide to pour some oil in it. Definitely, the dandruff will stop flying around because it's wet now and it's soaked in that oil. But that is not the permanent solution to it. So, what are the solutions to this problem or not to enter into it? First and foremost is the fact, start taking life as it comes on daily basis. Stop doing long and elaborative or overstated plannings, because when plans don't work, and nobody's plans go as per plans, it is law of nature that plans do tend to break down. They are seldom actually uh, come to fruition as you have planned them. So do not get disappointed with that state. Number three, start doing light exercises. Even if you don't feel like going out for a long walk to the woods or anywhere, wherever you live, you can simply start doing stretching exercises in your own bedroom. Number four, start taking meals on time. I underline the fact on time. Eat whatever you like, whatever you fancy, eat that. But start taking meals on time. And last but not the least, please remember, life is a beautiful thing. Stop dwelling in the past. Because I assure you of one thing, whenever you'll visit the past, you will always come back empty handed and thus disgruntled. On the other side, of the flip side of the coin, stop dwelling too much in the future, because you don't know that. You really don't know that. Live in the present and enjoy it. Please. Life is beautiful. It's full of colors. It's full of fun. Find yourself an activity that pleases you and people around you, and you will feel much better. Do not let your mind drive your body. You have to drive both your body as well as your mind in synchronization, in collaboration, as balanced out by the nature. So, friends, this is all I had to say and I had to discuss with all of you. I hope you would have enjoyed this. Thank you very much for your time. And before you go, I request my new viewers to please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. And take care of yourself till we meet again with something more interesting. Thank you very much and have a good time. Bye bye.